All right, council, are we ready? And staff, once I get confirmation that we're ready, we'll start. Okay. All right, the time is 6:18 p.m. I'm calling to order a called meeting of the City Council of the City of Sunset Valley, Texas for Wednesday, November 16th, 2022. All right, and the most important item arrived, which was our cake. So that means that we can officially start our meeting. Just as a note for members of the public that are here and also attending the live stream, we are still waiting for Travis County to send us the official results of the election. They told us they're already, I think, a day beyond what they initially told us. They did say that they were going to be sending them shortly after 6 o'clock tonight. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be going through agenda item number 1 and 2 public comments, and then we're going to go ahead and do the agenda number 6, which is presentation to outgoing council member and Mayor Pro Tem Alfonso Carmona. And then we'll break and have cake for both the outgoing council member as well as incoming council members. And by that time, when after we've enjoyed some refreshments, and we should have our results hopefully, and we'll reconvene and proceed with the swearing in of the new council. So with that, I would move to agenda item number 2, which is public comments. So at this time, if there's anybody that wishes to speak for an item that's not already listed, you can do so. And we'll also give folks a chance to speak at the presentation to Alfonso as well. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move us to agenda number 6, which is presentation to outgoing council member and Mayor Pro Tem Alfonso Carmona. So I'd like to say just, and I'll wait for the Mayor Pro Tem to get his hearing. And I just want to say, Alfonso, it's been a pleasure having you on council and serving with you. I think your viewpoints and your expertise have been very welcome in my tenure in council, and something that I know even before you were elected, having your participation as a member of the public as we went through our city facilities planning was invaluable as well. Just having a watchful eye for not only the neighborhood that we both share, but also just the engineering aspects and making sure that we were doing our best as a city in terms of the biggest project we've had as a city, which is the building out of the 2 new facilities. Every time that we have a chance to interact, I feel that sense of gratefulness, just because you have so much public experience working in your life. You have a very sharp mind, and just are also just very attentive to the needs of everyone around you as well. And I certainly appreciate it and will miss your voice as a council member, and I hope that you can continue to provide your voice as a member of the public and participating as a resident of the city as well. So with that, I'd like to present you with a plaque, and then I would like to open it up for members of the public or the council that also wish to speak at this time. All right. So this is to recognize your service on City Council, as well as for Mayor Pro Tem for the years 2020 through 2022 for the City of Sunset Valley. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate and will miss you for this council, but you will leave a legacy that we hope to carry forward as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
We gave you some cooking supplies. So.
Do you want them, I will wait for the citizens, or
if you could sit down, and then we can see if there's members of the public that wish to speak.
I will talk at this moment. I would like to say something.
So you say something first, and then we'll have other folks say. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and speak, and sit down, and you can speak it using your microphone.
After hear your words, and I will say Mr. Mayor, I always say Mr. Mayor, I would like to say something that is very important. The first thing is when I came and I tried to participate and to have the honor to be member of the city council 3 years ago, I wasn't using this. But after 2 years in the city council, with so many problems that we have, now I have to use this. So, and this is a problem, because not always I have that. But no, when somebody's talking, and all the business that we are doing here, they are real important for me. And historical, sometimes we can say, it's a city council, it's a small city. But that doesn't mean that. This small city has the same responsibilities than as a big city. They have employees, we have to work together, and with the citizens. Now, when we are part of the city council, this is a little ahead, it's another step. Why is another step? Because when we are sitting here, I used to see everybody, sometimes some people, they put attention, and sometimes I saw that they didn't put attention. And I say, why? And I will go to statistics. In my 2 years, I have more than 60 meetings with these people, with my coworkers. I spend over 300 hours in discussions. And the people, they don't see that. But when I was doing the numbers, because I write everything, that gave it to me that. So if they are looking somebody, they need to understand that in order to be here, it's a big commitment. It's not only to put our face and we say we are city council. And the worst or the most important is our responsibility. Because it's true, we spend 300 hours, but to read all of that information and to understand the information and to ask the staff, it means more and more hours. So I think that if I say that, for me that statistics means a lot, because it's not only the time. My life, my family, my dog, sometimes I couldn't spend all the time with them. And I couldn't travel, because I cannot travel, because I have this responsibility. And if I have to write, I cannot do that, because I need to be focused in all of these problems. So my mind was, for the past 2 years, focused in the job. And working in public relations was so important for me. For me, I try to be very competitive. I am a person that I compete only to see another. The same the animals. I smell. I can see. But I smell in good way, because I try to do the best if I can do with other person together. And I try to work together. And I learned at this moment that it's amazing sometimes when you have, if we're talking A, B, C, D, Z, a person A and a person Z, and after 2 years, we are together, Z and A. So that means a lot. That means a lot, and it's this table. This table, because from the head and also in the other area, the staff, we try to work together. It's difficult sometimes for the staff when they hear some criticism and they say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not easy, because they have their proud. But sometimes for us, we have to work with the citizens. And our critics, they are the citizens. So this is nothing personal. is the responsibility of this profession, because for me, it was a profession. In a few words, I am so happy because in my life, always I try to say, I have to learn this. So, and I have to learn that. So every year for me, now I am close to the end. So when you are close to the end, all that you achieve is very, very important. And I would like then, if one day will be the end, always will be thinking that always I try to live something and be in life and be the best before the end. So, telling you that, I think that now the citizens, they need to be happy. We have new plans. In these 2 years, the last 2 years, this group was working incredible with some committees and with the citizens. So we are close to close something that will be a cycle, and I hope that that will be something that other group of people, they will repeat that. So thank you very much. And for me, I learned a lot from you, a lot, and from everybody. And thank you, because sometimes when we are a little old, we abuse. We abuse with our words, with the time, and we try to be comics. And I don't try to abuse, only I try to be myself. So I'm sorry, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to invite any other members of council or any members of the public that wish to speak to this agenda item. Councilmember Rosengarten.
I remember when we first met, and I invited you to get involved, and I saw all the research you did when you were on Public Works, and I kept hinting that you should get involved in council. Because of all that research, I figured you'd be a great council member to add to this dais. And then you told me you had to get your citizenship first, and you did that, and I'm so proud of you. And then you got on at council. Again, so proud of you. You taught us a lot also. You taught us patience, for one. We do understand that it takes you a little longer to explain something. And one time in executive session, we were discussing an issue, and he said, you know, my wife said I shouldn't talk so much. He says, but I want you to understand, I was a professor, and I had to fill an hour every day. So he learned a lesson that he couldn't change, and it was something that we appreciate. So thank you, and again, congratulations. And of course, your future life is going to be even another more gracious adventure, if you will. Thank you.
Councilmember Reitz.
Well, you and I have not always seen eye to eye, but you know what? We work through that, and I think that is, I think that says a lot of the openness and the understanding that you have. There's a lot of things I'm going to miss about you. I'm going to miss your background, the engineering that you brought, your expertise that you brought, your thoroughness that you brought to the council. But I think what I'm going to miss most is your big heart. And I appreciate that, and I will miss you. Thank you.
Councilmember Johnson.
There's a, I don't know if it's a quote, there's definitely a book, but there's a quote about Ginger Rogers, and it talks about, you know, dancing partner with Fred Astaire, and how it's like Fred Astaire is such a great dancer, but Ginger Rogers had to do it all backwards and in heels. And so I think about all the conversations we've had, and here, you know, English not being your first language, and you're like participating and putting thoughtful comments in, it's quite a feat. So I was just thinking about that extra hurdle that you would have, as I always do, just wrote down my little bullets. But yeah, your thoughtfulness is always great. You always really try to take all sides of the argument and like really hear from the applicant or what the agenda item is. Your nonverbal assurances to me when I'm talking sometimes, and as I'm looking around, I look at you and you're just like, I loved it. It was like just like a little pep talk in the middle of me speaking, which I really liked. I'm gonna miss your idioms. They are top notch. Your public works knowledge, which I just completely relied on. I would read the agenda item and I'm like, hopefully Alfonso will ask good questions. So, but I think mostly your perspective on not only like what we have here in Sunset Valley, but in the United States as well. I think we get so used to what we got here, and you would from time to time kind of just say, I come from a place that like doesn't have the same opportunities, and so I really appreciate you kind of like bring us back to the center on that sometimes. So thank you.
Any members of the public that wish to speak, just step up to the microphone. And if you tap, you have to remember to tap the bottom of the mic to turn on.
Okay, I think I'm on. Well, I'm sure you're very surprised, Alfonso, because you talk a lot and I talk very little, right? So we're the exact opposites. I want to tell y'all that sometimes it's a question of second language, and sometimes that is how he is. So when our conversations at home are all in Spanish, and they take a long time too. But I do want to tell you, Alfonso, how proud I am of you for doing this 2-year journey and for all the work you did to get into that chair. And the truth of the matter is you have an extremely big heart for this city. You love it. You love all the work that you do for it. And you have that kind of commitment that I could never hope to have in my life. So I applaud you for that, and I'm very proud of you. I want to thank the council because I know that it has been a journey, and that everyone has to have patience with each other, and it's hard. One thing that was reminded of me, I reminded myself of this today as we're sitting here doing this kind of like your roast, but it's actually nice, is that we do come from different places in the political spectrum. That's true, and it's what we bring with us. But we all share this space, Sunset Valley, and somehow we have to figure out how we're going to live together, and we're going to govern together, and we're going to move forward together in a way that we can all live with, right? And if we can't do it in this space where we have so much to be thankful for, as Alfonso reminds us all the time, then I don't have much hope for the country, right? And I'm really proud to be in Sunset Valley tonight to see the care and the courtesy that you've given your fellow council member in his exit. So thank you all very much.
We met about a little over 4 years ago when I joined the Budget and Finance Committee. And I remember having no idea what to do there. And then one night, I watched you take apart an item and break it down. And I was so impressed by the thoroughness and the detail of it. I was like, oh, that's what you do. And ever since then, I've always admired you. I've always liked you. I'm proud that over the years you and I have become friends, and I am very, very grateful for that. And I'm grateful for all that you do and all that you've done for this city. So thank you, Alfonso.
Thank you.
Melissa Gonzalez, 26 Reese. There's a thing that's an unwritten rule for people who aren't from here, that in this tiny city, if you want to get off city council, you have to find somebody to take your place. And I was blessed to ask Alfonso to take my place when I was on council. But not only was he kind enough to step up to be on council so I could get off, he, for the 2 years before I was working, was my total person to go to for advice while I was on council. And among other people, but Alfonso was the #1 person who would always help me, especially with Public Works, and has the entire time. So his knowledge of how a city ought to run, his experience of 30 some odd years as a city official, which most people don't understand what it is to be an employee. And for him to be able to explain those things to me when I was on council was invaluable as to what the expectations should be and the forms and the way things that should work. That has been one of the richest pieces of Alfonso, is that he knows how a city ought to work and the way that processes should go, the expectations, all those kinds of things. So when I was on council, I utterly relied upon him, and he was so generous with his time, and he's been so generous even before that on Public Works, and I really, really hope that he takes a little bit of a break and he comes back and he graces us with his wisdom, his wonderful, sweet disposition, and his kindness. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, and I think we're still waiting on more. So what we'll do this time is go and enjoy some, cake for both celebration of the outgoing recognition of outgoing Mayor Pro Tem Carmona, as well as incoming council members. So this time we'll take a break, hopefully a short one. We'll see. Well, I'll keep working with staff if we need to adjust our plans. But at this time, let's go ahead and take a break at 6:40. And let there be cake. So. All right, thank you all for your patience. We just got the official results from Travis County, so we can proceed with canvassing. So we'll resume our meeting at 7:05 PM, and we're going to pick up with agenda item number 3, which is canvass the returns for the November 8th, 2022 general and special city elections, and consider approval of a resolution of the canvass and certification as to the results of the general and special city elections in the city of Sunset Valley, Texas, held on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. And so all we need for this one is just a motion to approve or canvass the results.
Correct.
Okay.
The official results.
Canvass, okay. Is there a motion? Councilmember Rosengarten?
I motion to accept the official results of the canvassing of the votes.
Is there a second for that?
I will,
Say it again.
And a resolution.
And approval
And
of
the
a resolution of the canvass and certification of the results.
and I will second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, we approved agenda item number 3. And now we'll proceed with inauguration and swearing of new city council members. Beginning with the court clerk, Melissa, you're going to swear me in, and then I'll proceed with swearing in the elected council members. Thank you. It is on, okay. There, you can just put it there. I think it's,
It'll catch.
All right, so you're just going to raise your right hand, and then you just repeat after me.
Okay.
All right. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Mark Bruner, do solemnly swear
I, Mark Bruner, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of mayor of the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas,
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of mayor of the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
You're welcome.
All right. Appreciate it. And I will take Melissa's place, and I'll ask Robert Johnson to step forward.
The first time we did this, or I did this, it was during COVID. I think it was virtual.
It was virtual, yes.
So,
All right. This is this one counts, and the last 2 years didn't count. All right. All right, raise your right hand, please. In the name and repeat after me. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Robert Johnson, do solemnly swear
I, Robert Johnson, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
You need this one, you want one of those copies, right? All right, Charles Young. I've got a reading copy for you.
Thank you.
All right, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Charles Young, do solemnly swear
I, Charles Young, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the city council, of the council member for the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas,
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome to council. And Karen Medicus. You've got to sit. raise your right hand and repeat after me. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Karen Medicus, do solemnly swear
I, Karen Medicus, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas,
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome back to council. Look at that. This one's sign that one. We can get everybody to sign that for us. Yeah, having the copy is nice. Thank you. And welcome. Actually, if we could we all stand and take pictures? That's a nice time to do it before we break into our next discussion item. All right. Welcome, new council. It'll be a pleasure working with you. One of the last item of business we have tonight, discussion and staff direction for upcoming meetings in the council retreat. So council, one of the priorities for me, especially as we seat our new council and we have a lot of activities and a lot of agendas that we want to get done, especially with regards to land development code, parks and open space, beautification. I'm eager to get started. However, December being one of those months when it can be difficult to find time, ideally I'd like to do what we did last year where we had a day-and-a-half retreat and we met with council first and then we had our joint meeting with the committees and the boards. Because we've been having trouble identifying a date when we can have a day-and-a-half retreat, what I'd like to propose is that we look for a date in December to have a day retreat with council, and then target in January having a joint meeting with the committee chairs and vice chairs. So we'll split that up a little bit, but at least that allows us to proceed as a council with our retreat and our discussions and our priorities. So that being said, the other discussion that I wanted to bring up is that usually we take at least one of the council dates off for winter break. We have a council scheduled for December 6th, which will be a regular council meeting. Our next regular council meeting would be December 20th, but if we're going to have a retreat, I would suggest that we, if everybody's okay with it, cancel that meeting and we just have the retreat once we identify a date through our discussion. And then we also have the next meeting would be January 3rd, which is also really close to the holidays for a lot of people. And so what I would propose for that January meeting is either moving it out a week and having a meeting on the 10th and the 17th, and we just have light agendas, or potentially canceling that meeting too. But my preference would be, I think, to have like the meeting on the 10th and the 17th. That way we have, a little bit of space if we need to have a crowded agenda in January. So those are the things I wanted to talk about. But primarily, I wanted to for us to look at a calendar, identify a date when we can have a retreat. I'd like it to be on a Monday through Friday, so that we don't, so we can use staff to, during the working hours. So if we can collaborate on what dates are available. Right now, we have a big event on the 16th, which is the winter solstice event, and so I'd like to avoid that Friday if possible, just because the prep time and the planning that go into it would make it difficult for everybody to participate fully, especially staff. So if we could look at dates either the week of the 12th or the week of the 19th, that Monday through Friday, Are there any dates that people absolutely can't make the week of the 12th or the week of the 19th, or you know your travel plans already, or you may be able to modify them? So if we can kind of, I'm open to, I can't meet on the 13th and 14th, unfortunately, but I could meet on the 12th, the 15th, or any day the week of the 19th if we wanted to look that, that far out. But I know people, that starts encroaching on people's travel plans
Yeah.
sometimes as well. So preferences,
Yeah, I could do the 12th.
the 12th, the Monday the 12th? You're gone on the 12th? What about the 14th?
I can't do the 14th.
Can't do the 14th? Do I hear? So the 19th, you'll be out the week of the 19th, you think?
The whole week, the next 2 weeks I'll be gone, yeah.
Okay. And you'll be out the 7th through the 12th, Chip?
7th through the 12th. The 5th? No. Ooh, sounds interesting. More interesting than my life.
Could we, I don't know, staff, I hate to encourage on weekends, but are weekends possibility for staff? Like if we looked at the 17th? The Saturday, the 17th?
17th could work if we
see.
do it in the EOC because.
This will still have the planetarium and tear down, yeah.
But
Or we
if
could just do it in the planetarium, I think.
Right,
there's-
exactly. We could just retreat in the planetarium, yeah. No. But the,
We may be leaving that day, let me look.
I'm way more boring than you guys. I'm just like.
Yeah.
what
Well, I
about
just
Thursday the 15th?
Looked at it.
Thursday the what?
Thursday the 15th?
Thursday,
Is
the
that
15th?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I think
No,
it's,
I can't do that, yeah.
well, this would be during the day.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, we're planning, what?
I could do
like
the-
9 to 3, I believe.
And we can't do the 12th, right? That's out, okay.
12th because Chip's going to be out the 12th.
That's right,
So
okay. I could
if
do
we-
the 13th,
If needed, I could,
and you can't do the 13th.
if
right?
needed, I could, if everybody else can make the 13th or the 14th, I could make the 13th. or
I
14th
can't
work.
do the 14th, but I could do the 13th.
What about, and the 15th you can't do?
No.
And the 17th you can't do?
I would probably have to tell my husband we're not leaving Saturday morning.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. I don't,
You prefer not the 17th, or you think you'll have the
well,
conflict
I'm
with the 17th?
thinking, let me look at when the dates are on that. I had it right before I came, and now I've,
This is your counsel at work.
I know, sorry, guys.
It's training I committed to, so it would be, I can't move it, I'm participating in training, but I'd just skip it. It's like one of those things that, yeah.
So is that going to be a full day on Saturday, or is that like a half
We were thinking 9 to
day?
3, I think.
We could shorten it if we want to, if it's something that,
Yeah, let's say, if we could do like just a morning, like 8 to noon, and then if we were going to leave, we could leave right then. Would that work? Is that too early for you guys?
I prefer to meet on the 13th and just skip my plans if that works for everybody, rather than have
13th
that
works
short of
for
a
me.
meeting.
Yeah,
Right,
and, yeah.
okay, does the 13th work for everybody else? Yep.
You're out of luck, Mayor. You gotta change your plans.
Yes, I do.
It changes your plans.
Changes my plans, yes, but I'm willing to do that if that's the only day that we can meet, and that means we have a full day, so I can do that.
We'll give you 2 days off of giving up the 13th.
All right, staff, does that work if we plan for the 13th? Okay,
We're just going to go ahead and plan on 9 to 3 then?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
we'll
I'll-
provide lunch, we'll provide lunch as usual, so. And do we want it in again, it won't be broadcast or anything. It'll be in, the work session style. Do we want to have it in here, or do we want to utilize the EOC?
You want to be in the EOC? All right, we can use
EOC?
Okay, well, we'll
That's a good
confirm,
idea.
we'll look at the EOC and make sure that it's available, but I don't think there's any conflicts that we know about on the 13th, so, okay. All right, so look for more information on that, but right now targeting the 13th of December. And that means we'll also be canceling, in our next agenda on the 6th, we'll be canceling the meeting on the 20th. So that would be our regular council meeting, but we won't hold that. And is there consensus that on the January 3rd that we move that out a week? Is that okay for folks if we move that from the 3rd to the 10th? And then we still meet on the 17th? Okay, so we'll have that adjusted in our December 6th meeting with those dates so we can formally adjust them. Is that correct?
Okay, so the 10th?
Yeah, I think we'd still like to
know-
have 2 meetings in January.
Okay, I don't know if I have to check my,
You're available?
I'm back from that, yeah.
Okay,
for
so
that
we'll
evening.
confirm, but we
Okay.
can work on that as far as
Okay.
the 6th agenda. Okay. All right, that's all I wanted to cover. Light meeting today. No variances, no zoning changes, no. So as a reminder, on the 6th, we will have our first regular meeting with this council. We will be doing liaison appointments as well as the mayor pro tem. So those are 2 items that I want to make sure we have in place before too long, just so we have, the liaisons attending the committee meetings. And then we'll also be looking at a date in January for when we can have our joint meeting and start getting that information to the committee members as well. All right. Thanks, everyone. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn? It's always the honor of the new council members.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Hey.
All right, we are adjourned at 7:21. Yeah, and if you. All right.